Well, welcome to Ditch the Diet and Face the Feelings, where I talk with Samantha D and Sandra Zawinski-Sperling. We talk about life in general, our bodies, our relationship with our bodies. Today we're going to be talking about how we talk to ourselves and our body image. Because there's a huge difference between saying, I am fat and I have fat.
Oh, for sure. It was
Definitely.
a major epiphany for me. I'm so glad we're talking about it today.
Yep. So let's go around, introduce ourselves, Sammy, Zandra, and then we are going to dive right into this discussion.
Hi, I'm Sammy D. I live in England. I'm the author of My Big Fat Fat, a funny book about dieting. And I'm also a Udemy instructor and life coach, etc. So, yes, that's me.
Hi, I'm Sandra. I'm from Ontario, Canada. I'm a former nurse, now health coach, eating psychology. Looking at health at every size is so important, and really getting your mindset around what it actually is all about to ditch that diet and how are you going to do it? What's holding you back? And that's me.
All righty. Yeah. So I am fat versus I have fat. I had a huge moment, aha, yesterday. I was feeling tired. And I had just been watching a video on Superhuman Energy. It's a summit that's on at the moment. And one of the guys had been talking about the mitochondria and how our cells produce energy, and how at any time when our cells are working properly, we can call on all the energy we need when we need it. So I'm starting to go into this slump of I'm tired, and my mind starts going off on, oh, you're tired, you need to lie down. And I was like, well, wait a minute. I got extra fat I'm not using. I don't need to be tired. I could have energy. I just need to burn some fat. So I literally went to the mirror and did some mirror work going, okay, body, I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling a slump. I got extra fat cells that I really don't need. How about instead of me having a nap, we burn some of that fat and you just get me the energy I need? So I sit there in the mirror doing this work for about 5 minutes, and I slowly feel my energy coming back.
Yeah.
And it was a huge revelation and aha, because I can sit there and say, well, I've got insulin resistance, so I'm going to feel tired, and my body doesn't know how to use the fat cells to make energy anymore. Or I can sit there and invite and ask my body to participate in providing me with the energy that I need.
Yeah.
Rather than sitting there and say, well, I don't have any energy.
And it's a change of perspective, isn't it? Because you said, instead of saying, I am tired, it was, I feel tired. What am I going to do about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, equally, I mean, it was just such an epiphany for me when someone said, hey, how about saying, instead of I am fat, say I have fat? Because the connotation and perspective of that turns around completely. So instead of identifying yourself as fat, I'm then free to identify myself as, you know, a funny bird, a writer, a teacher, a life coach, someone who sings and dances around the kitchen. You know, I mean, I realized that I was so much more than just, you know, saying I'm fat, as if it is part of my identity. And it wasn't.
Yeah.
And that was just such a huge thing for me. It changed my perspective completely, complete 180.
It's the same though when we're talking about this. It's really about our language. And what is our mean girl voice
Oh,
saying
yeah.
saying to us each and every day, or it could be every minute, right?
Yeah.
Um, a big one that I really have that I like is we talk about losing the weight. I'm going to lose 15 pounds, or I've lost 25 pounds. Hell no. Because if you say that, your subconscious is going, I lost it. I have to go find it. It's the same as when you lose
That's
your
one of the
keys.
things that when I'm talking to clients, I talk about releasing storage. We don't
Yeah.
lose weight because no one likes to lose.
Yeah, but you also have to remember that it's your subconscious that's controlling everything that you think and do.
Absolutely.
That it's almost, I think
That's
it's
really
95
interesting,
plus
actually.
percent, right?
Yeah.
So when you think about that, and what happens when you lose your keys or you misplace your keys, right? You're
Well, you
going
go
around the
looking
house
for
going,
them. I go find it. I need them.
exactly. So when you say, I've lost 25 pounds, your subconscious automatically kicks in
Where are we going
and
to
it's
find it?
going, where am I finding it? What am I doing with this? Where do I have to find it?
And that's and we don't even, I don't think we're even aware of that language when we're saying those things. And so, I mean, like I said, I talk to my clients about releasing storage because you do want to release it. You want to let
Yeah.
it go.
Yeah.
You want to
Yeah.
step into, not only am I releasing the fat that I'm holding, I'm releasing whatever emotions and feelings I was storing there as well. I'm releasing whatever protection that might have been giving me because I don't need it anymore. So if I was carrying weight because I needed protection, I needed buffering between me and the exterior world, I'm releasing that. I'm releasing all necessity of that.
Yeah.
I don't need it
But
anymore.
think about when you release that, and this I always ask my clients, how much do you, or if they say they've lost weight, well, you've released X number of, right?
Yes.
But think
Yep.
about it from another sense of view too, is that when we release that weight, look at all that stored energy that we have. What are we going to do with that extra
Absolutely.
energy?
Yep.
How are we going to manage it? And it doesn't mean to say that we have to be slim trim model. Okay? It's
No.
really important about how you're thinking about where you're at in the now. It's not the future and
Yes.
it's not the
And
past. And why
and
is
I
that weight
really
there?
love that you're talking about it as energy.
Yeah.
Because for me, I look at health as how much energy do I have for the challenges for the life I want to live. So if I don't have enough energy to do the things I want to do, where am I going to get that energy from? What's my energy sources? And a lot of time I've discovered my energy source is my mindset and my thinking. That same thing that you guys just said. I no longer say I am tired, but I'm feeling tired. It's like, well, okay, wait a minute. I don't feel like I've got enough energy. Well, where do I want to get the energy from? Now, I used to rely on, I'm feeling tired, I'm going to eat something. Well, guess what that would do? Make me more tired.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
as I start looking at, well, I have enough energy for everything. And I've had to really catch myself. I used to use sickness and being tired as an excuse to not do things. And
Yeah.
so, as part of the healing process, part of the having enough energy is that, well, I've actually got enough energy for that, but I don't actually want to do it. So, my excuse is is no longer I'm too tired or I'm too sick. My reality is I don't want to do that. I
Yeah.
don't want
And
to
why not?
invest
Yeah.
my time and energy into that. That's my honesty.
Yeah. I think,
And
sorry, go on.
and it takes balls
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
come up and say, you know
Yeah.
what? I don't want to spend my time and energy on that.
And again, we're going back to that head, heart, gut thing, because similarly to, being fat versus having fat, if you say, I am tired, without listening to these things, because it might be that you need something, you need some
Mhm.
positive energy, or you need some fresh air, or
Or
you
you need
need to
sleep
get
even.
up and walk around for a bit.
Yeah.
And if you say, I am tired, you're not engaging head, heart, and gut to say, look at me, head, heart, and gut. You're not engaging those parts to say, okay, what do I need? And Beth will tell you, I'm learning that from her, to be mindful about engaging head, heart, and gut, because I think if we don't do that, we just go back to the original script. Like, I'm tired. Okay, I'm going to go nap.
I think, though, too, Samantha, it's also not only connecting the three brains, but it's really about connecting to what do we need in this moment and really
And yes,
acknowledging that.
absolutely. The
Acknowledging it.
presentness. Yeah.
Yeah, because
The
maybe
mindfulness
you
of the present
are,
moment.
yeah, maybe you
Yeah.
are sick. Maybe you really, truly, honestly are
Mhm.
sick. And normally, like, I was down and out last week. Whatever I had, I'm thankful
Mhm.
it's gone. But normally I would have pushed through after I started feeling a little better. Instead, I
Yeah,
honored and really listened to, what does my body need right now?
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
and it was, if said it
And
needed sleep, well, that's where I
I
went.
I
I
had to
went to
laugh.
sleep.
Yesterday, Miss Six woke up with a runny nose. And I was like, "Do you want me to do some energy work?" And she was like, "No, I want to stay in bed." And I was like, "Oh, that's not how this works. This is not, you get to have a runny nose and I'm going to stay in bed because I don't want to go to school today." I was like,
I
"Yeah, I
think
can
we all
see
want to
how
do
you're
that.
using this." I was like, let's understand something. You can stay in bed this morning and all afternoon, as in
Yeah.
you stay in bed all day because you're sick. Or if you want to play this afternoon, then you need to do schoolwork this morning. And it was like, oh. I was like, yeah, you don't get to play. I'm sick this morning, and then in the afternoon I'm fine, and I want to go outside and play. No, that's not how this is going to work. So, would you like would you like to sit there and say my body can take care of this? And today, of course, she woke up without no stuffy nose, nothing wrong, because we sat there and said, my body's got this. It's just a stuffy nose because I didn't get enough sleep the night before last, and and my body can handle this. It can take care of everything it needs to take care of. But what I love
Yeah.
is the opportunity that at 6 years old, she's really conscious about how strong her body is to fight something. But she's also conscious and manipulative enough to sit there and go, well, wait a minute, being sick could be a good thing. I could stay in bed instead of going to school,
Yeah.
Can I just sit in bed with the iPad for the morning? I was like, no.
Tuck you in so tight you can't move, Missy.
Exactly. So, but it is that talking to ourselves. What are we telling ourselves? And once again, that body image of, and I see this a lot in myself when I was chronically ill. And I know a lot of others who have chronic illness go through the same. The self-talk becomes, I am sick.
Yeah.
the self-talk, and I think we see this with people with type 2 diabetes or with insulin resistance or with a whole slew of things. We start identifying with I am sick. We start identifying with I am fat, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy in our lives.
Yeah. I mean, whatever we say I am, our brain is making it so.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, our genetic makeup says, okay, we'll get to work on that right away.
Yeah.
You know, so it could be I'm tired, I'm sick, I don't feel like doing anything today, I'm hungry, you know, and your brain will just say, okay, let's do that then.
Absolutely. And I was saying to Sammy earlier today, I accidentally glutened myself this week. And upset tummy. And I sat there and I said to my stomach, you know what? You got permission to just get it all out.
Right.
So while I spent some uncomfortable time in the toilet after that, I got relief within 2 hours. You know what? You got permission, just empty. Rather than sitting with the discomfort and going, oh my goodness, I'm so sick. You know what? Just do what you got to do.
Get rid of it.
We'll stay on liquid for 24 hours, whatever we need to do. But I'd like to feel better. The way I want to feel is good again.
Yeah.
And I think, though, Beth, we're delivering something here between the three of us that is so on diet culture that most people out there are going, you ladies are just way too woo-woo for us. But that's not the case, because
I see myself as being completely down to earth because what I choose to eat is so
honest.
in touch with what
You
my
know
body's
what?
on.
I mean,
It's
if there's anyone out there thinking, oh, this stuff is woo-woo, you can't do that without being told what to do. If I can subscribe to this concept, then anyone can. I mean, I used to be kind of, I don't believe it unless it runs up and bites me in the butt, you know. But if you just spend some time thinking about the concepts, and how empowering it can potentially make you feel, then you're going to buy into it. Instead of saying, what, losing weight without a diet? Well, you know, you weren't born with that opinion. You created it from somewhere. So,
but I mean,
you
like,
know,
if you
and it's obviously not working for you, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this.
exactly.
Yeah.
No?
And then that's just, I mean, I think all three of us have probably done every diet that was within the ambit of our knowledge at any time, you know, whether it's the cabbage diet or the lemonade diet and master cleanse,
diet,
or it's the soup diet or the keto diet. Now,
yeah,
I love keto because it provides me with a whole range of gluten-free recipes, but not because I do keto. I just love the fact that people have a keto diet that I can go steal recipes from. And for me, there's no rules of do and do not. The only thing is, how does my body feel about this? Yesterday, I had pineapple, not a good choice. It made sense in my head, and my body said, not a good idea. And I ate it anyway because my head said, no, it's healthy. That'd be really good. No,
I mean, the thing
just
is,
because it's healthy does not mean that today's a good idea.
If someone had said to me 5 years ago, well, you know, you can eat what you like when you like, and still, you know, get to maintain your weight and health. I'd be like, whatever. But the thing is, to anyone watching, I would say, when those restrictions of diets get released, you then start saying, okay, I'm on my own now. What do I need? You start looking inwards for, what your body actually needs.
And also,
What do
I mean,
you
Sammy and
really
I talked
want?
about this on Monday about how when there are no restrictions and you can eat as much cake, as much brownies, as much chocolate syrup or chocolate mousse, as much donuts as you want, because they're not off limits. There's no gorging on it anymore because I can go back anytime I like.
Yeah.
I don't have a rule of I'm not allowed any. I don't have to eat it now because if I want to go, I mean, like I was saying to Sammy, in our fridge, we've got 3 gallons of different types of ice cream. And I don't have a problem keeping 3 gallons of ice cream in my freezer because we'll eat it in little bits here and there when we feel like it. If I want to have ice cream for breakfast, I'll have ice cream for breakfast.
And I think too that's the big thing, right? I listened to a talk yesterday, again from the Super Energy Summit, Beth, and I found it really interesting that, and she's quite a well-known doctor. She has a book out there. She has a program, and she's talking about she will not allow plantain chips in her house or chocolate, because she knows that if she has those two in her home, she will binge eat on those. So, in all honesty, what has her whole program taught her? Restriction and deprivation means I get to lose the weight. But are you really honoring your body? Are you really honoring your intuitive
But I mean, you still then haven't dealt with the cause of the problem. You're still, I mean, because the thing is that ideally, I can have that sitting right in front of me. And the only question I ask myself is, am I hungry? Is this what my body needs? Am I honoring my body right here and now? And there's no craving because all of the issues that created the craving I've dealt with.
Yeah.
And if I'm still craving it and I still feel I have no control and that food controls me, there's something still for me to deal with.
There's something internal that you haven't dealt with. And it could be something going way back into your childhood when somebody said to you, well, you can't have that. And
what are you going to do when someone says that?
Exactly.
Well, I'm going to binge on it. I'm going to eat it in secret. I'm going to turn off the lights and hide in the closet and eat it.
Exactly.
But suddenly that thing has control over me rather than me having control over my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that comes up in real quick here. Mm-hmm. Last week, the comment came out, and yes, she's 6 years old. You know, in standards of medical, is she on the high end of topping her weight? Yeah, probably she is, very much so. And that comes from a former nurse looking at that. But the last goddamn thing you want to say to this child is, well, it's a good thing that you're playing the Wii because it gives you exercise and you get to lose that. Well, what the hell did the subconscious just pick up?
Oh my goodness.
And it will be there for the rest of her life.
Her life. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
and so we talk about what am I telling myself? I am fat versus I have fat. But look at the conversation you're having.
That's
and
exactly
with a
it.
child. I mean, like,
Yeah.
anytime Isabella talks to me about her body, I talk about strength, I talk about energy, I talk about what she's able to do. And obviously, you know, when she tries to do something, fails, well, maybe just try again. You know, you didn't learn to walk the first time you tried, you know,
Right.
so try again,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And there's, but I'm aware of that now because I think of all the times I've spoken to myself in another way.
But I think it's a learning experience, Beth, and it's a step-by-step learning experience. And if we can just be a little bit easier on ourselves and stop beating us up.
Kinder.
Yeah, kinder,
I
easier.
think the one piece of advice I would give to anyone is, instead of saying I am, say I feel, because that opens a different
Yes,
perspective and a different part of your
Different
brain.
world. Yeah.
absolutely.
Just
And
start doing
I
that.
feel temporary. It's a passing feeling. It's something that I can feel right now and let it go. So I feel tired. Well, right now I feel tired. That's temporary. Later on, I'll feel energetic. But I am tired. Brings that into a permanent state of being.
Who you are. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it brings
Yeah.
it into the now.
Identity.
It brings it into the now too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all we have is the now. So if we watch what we're saying, and if we really pay attention to that mean girl voice,
Yes.
and try to reframe, and not so much reframe, change the words.
My mean
That will
girl is
make a
turned
whole
into a
difference.
hippie.
Yeah. My mean girl is quite sarcastic. Well, you all know that, though. I mean, the biggest thing for me in watching that inner critic voice is that when I don't want to do something, when I don't want to participate, when I don't want to get up or get motivated, it's really easy to fall back into I'm tired and I'm sick, or I'm sick and I'm tired. Okay. And I have to be super aware of, no, you're not. You don't want to do this. So stand up for yourself and open your throat and your mouth and your voice and say, I don't wish to participate in this. This is outside the boundaries of what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I have energy for other things. I'm healthy and I'm
it's
well.
completely healthy to do that.
Yeah, it is.
I think we should do that regularly. Like, you know, put something in your calendar every 6 months to do kind of an energy review, to see, you know, if you're giving energy to something that you possibly shouldn't be, and you know, reestablish your boundaries. I think that's a really healthy thing to do.
And the same way we talk about releasing storage, releasing your fat because you don't need it anymore. It's also releasing the activities, releasing the time consumption of, I don't want to do that anymore. I mean, one of the biggest gifts I gave myself in the last 2 weeks was I took Facebook off my phone. It was really simple, really easy to do. Just delete it. Delete and disable the app. Just, it's off.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to be on Facebook, I'm actually on the computer. Well, guess what? You can't accidentally get on Facebook in the kitchen while you're waiting for the kettle to boil and then spend the next 35 minutes on it.
That's right.
No, doesn't happen anymore. So it becomes more intentional, but it's like, okay, where do I want to spend and what do I want to release and let go of? What do I want to invest myself into?
Yeah. Yeah.
And my inner critic voice can take me down a path of, this is the way I always used to go. And I don't want to be that person anymore.
Yeah. It's
So
really
I'm not
important
going to
to
talk about
recognize
I am
those
fat.
to it.
No,
Yeah.
I have fat. I still have some fat I'd like to release. I'm closer to my ideal weight than I've been in years, but I still have some I'd like to get rid of. There's not much left, but there's still some I want to release. So anytime I'm feeling a little tired, I'm like, well, you know what? This is a great time. You know, that little bit of extra fat you've been carrying, no, those little handles. This is a time for them to let go and give me some more energy. I'd like to power up right now. And we can literally encourage our body to participate in this with us.
Yeah. And you can't do that if you're saying I am. No. Because then you're just accepting that as your, that's who you are.
That's the best. Yep. That's the best I can do. If I am, then that's the best I can choose.
Yeah.
So, ladies, any final thoughts about that body image, inner critic that says, I am, whatever that might be?
Recognize when you're saying it.
What practices do you do on a daily basis? That would be the challenge I put out to all of you is, do you have a practice you're doing that's changing that inner critic voice? For me at the moment, that's mirror work. That's really, it's not about the affirmation I say. It's about how I respond within my body to that affirmation I just said. So let's say I look in the mirror and I say, I am beautiful. And my inner critic goes, no, you're not. Well, I turn around and go, okay, well, when do I feel beautiful? In what moment have I felt beautiful?
No answer for that.
Absolutely. But then you start working on, I'm learning to see the beauty in myself. I'm learning to love and respect myself. I'm open to seeing the beauty in me.
Yeah.
And the mirror work that I'm doing is not about the I am beautiful statement. It's about all that I learn while I say that. My inner critic goes, no, you're not. Nope, absolutely not. Okay, well, what am I learning from this about my inner critic? About the thought process, about what I consistently and unconsciously say to myself that is not allowing me to move forward.
Yeah. And the first thing, piece of advice I would have everyone take away from this is to learn to recognize when you're saying, I am. That's the first step, is to notice when you're actually saying it. That's the first thing to practice. So,
and my biggest piece of advice for the gals that are here is give it a try. Listen to that inner voice, and you're really honoring who you are right now in this moment.
Yeah.
Be happy with where you're at. Be grateful for the body that moves you around. And appreciate every step that it takes that works hard to move you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But love it.
Love it.
And the more you love it,
is. Absolutely.
The more you love it, the more it's going
to love you. The more it loves you back.
Yeah.
All right, ladies, thank you so much. For those of you that have joined us today and are watching, thank you so much for being with us. And we will see you all next week, same time, same place.
Bye.
Bye.